Rock climbing has been getting a lot of attention lately. If you clicked on this video, I'm guessing you've seen clips of Magnus Midbo doing some ridiculous challenge or Adam Ondra screaming his way up a wall. And now you are thinking, that looks fun, maybe I should try it. Well, you definitely should. But before you jump in, there's a lot to know. Climbing comes in different styles. You have indoor climbing, outdoor climbing, lead, sport, bouldering, and each one has its own gear, technique, and learning curve. In this video, I will break it all down. What each type of climbing is, what you need to get started, and most importantly, how to do it safely. By the end, you have a clear idea of where to start and what to expect. So let's get into it. If you are just starting out, the best place to begin is an indoor climbing gym. Indoor climbing is the easiest way to try the sport because it's safe, controlled, and doesn't require you to buy any gear right away. Most gyms rent everything you need. Now, indoor climbing comes in a few different styles, so let's break them down. Let's start with indoor bouldering, probably the easiest way to try climbing for the first time. The walls are usually 3 to 5 meters high and the floors are padded so you can fall safely. If you've never climbed before, you might walk into a gym and see a bunch of random holes on the wall, but there's actually a system to it. Every boulder problem is marked by a specific color of holes. You are supposed to use only that color to get from the starting holes to the top hold. Boulder problems are basically puzzles that you have to figure out using strength, technique, and sometimes a little bit of creativity. Most gyms mark the start holes using tape or a tag, so look for those. You start with both hands on the start holes, then work your way up using only the same color of holes until you reach the top. The goal is to reach the final hold it for a second or two, and then either climb down or just jump off safely. Bouldering problems are graded based on difficulty. Most gyms use either the V-grade system, which starts from V0, then goes to V1, V2, V3, V4, and so on, or the Fontainebleau system, which starts from 4A, then goes to 4B, 4C, then it's a little bit different, you can go to 5A, 5B, 5C, then you have 6A, 6B, 6C, and so on. Sometimes you can also see a plus sign, like 6A plus, which basically means it's harder than a 6A, but easier than a 6B, if that makes sense. If you are just starting out, you start from the easier grades and then progressively you move on as you get stronger. The only thing you'll need is a pair of climbing shoes and some chalk, but you can rent those from the gym. Usually the gyms have daily passes or monthly subscriptions, so you can choose whatever it suits you. Alright, now let's talk about top rope climbing. This is the best way to start climbing if you want to get comfortable at higher walls while staying as safe as possible. Unlike bouldering where you're climbing without ropes, here you are secured with a rope that runs from your harness up to an anchor at the top of the wall and back down at your belayer. Basically the rope is already set up for you at the top. As you climb, your belayer takes in slack using a belay device like this. If you fall, the belayer catches you right away, so you won't fall more than a few centimeters. This makes it a great way to build confidence at the wall without worrying about big falls. For grading, top rope and lead climbing, use the French system or the Yosemite decimal system. If you are in Europe, like we mentioned before, you will see something like 5A, 5B, 5C, 6A, 6B, 6C, and so on. If you are in the US, it starts from 5.5 and goes up to 5.15. The higher the number, the harder the climb. Alright, now let's talk about lead climbing, which is where things start getting a little more serious. Instead of having the rope already set up for you at the top, in lead climbing you clip the rope into quick draws like this as you climb. If you fall before clipping, you take a bigger fall depending on how far the last quick draw you clipped is. Lead climbing requires more skill and confidence because you have to manage the rope while climbing, and your belayer has to be experienced enough to give you slack and catch you properly. It sounds similar to top roping, but trust me, when you take a couple of good falls, the nerves start to kick in and you will have to exercise your mental game as well. That's why doing a problem on top rope seems easier than doing it on lead climb. Most gyms won't let you lead climb until you pass a test to prove that you know what you are doing. If you want to climb outside someday, learning to lead indoors is a great way to prepare. But it's not necessary. In my country, we don't even have lead climbing indoors. Climbing indoors, it's a great way to start. But if you are like most climbers, at some point you will want to climb outside. And let me tell you, climbing outside is a whole different experience. The walls aren't color-coded. You are now dealing with natural rock formations and you are also exposed to the environment. But don't let that scare you off. Outdoor climbing is amazing. Like indoors, there are a few different styles climbing outdoors, but with a few differences. Outdoor bouldering is similar to indoor bouldering. Short, powerful climbs without ropes. But instead of a padded gym floor, you've got to bring your own crash pads, which are these thick foam pads you put under the climb so you can protect yourself when you fall. Just like in the gym, you will need climbing shoes and chalk. Now let's talk about grades. Outdoor bouldering is graded with the same V-grade system or the Fontainebleau as indoors. But here's the thing, outdoor grades feel harder. Let's say you climb all the time V3s at the gym. Trying a V3 outside will probably be more challenging. This is because usually the holes are smaller, the falls are higher, and you have to figure out the moves yourself. There are no gym setters designing the route for you. If you are new to outdoor bouldering, I suggest you go with experienced friends, so they can teach you how to place the crash pads to avoid any rocks or roots or anything that can make the fall worse. Now, if you want to climb higher routes outside, you will have to get into sport climbing. This is where you lead climb on a rock face that has bolts drilled into it, and you clip your rope into quick draws as you climb. In outdoors climbing, there is also top rope, but someone has to lead climb to get at the top so they can set up the rope. So sport climbing gives you more freedom and less dependency on others. This is a quick draw, and you will need a whole set of them to clip into the bolts as you climb. You will also need a rope, a helmet, harness, climbing shoes, chalk, a belay device, and a belay partner. Like I said, most of the times there is no one to set up the rope for you. So you will have to learn how to clip into quick draws, how to clip into anchors, and how to clean the route. And most importantly, how to take the falls. Falls outside can be bigger and more scary, so learning how to fall safely is very important. If you are interested in climbing outside, I highly recommend taking a course, or go with very experienced climbers. Indoors, everything is designed to be safe, but outdoors, it's up to you to know what you are doing. A simple mistake like misusing the gear or forgetting to tie a knot can be very dangerous. A good outdoor climbing course will teach you the basics of lead climbing, cleaning anchors, safety techniques, so when you start climbing outside, you will do it with confidence. Now there is also traditional climbing or trad climbing, which is a whole different beast. Instead of clipping into pre-placed bolts, you place your own gear into cracks to protect yourself as you climb. If you fall, the gear is what catches you, assuming you placed it correctly. But you won't have to consider trad climbing when you are a beginner. So whether you want to boulder or sport climb, climbing is an amazing sport, and there's a style for everyone. Let me know in the comments which style of climbing you are most excited to try. So there you have it. If you liked this video, consider subscribing. It really means a lot. See you in the next one.